YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 Times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. And it's the Chicago series. Everybody been on me about doing 051 Young Money, so here you go. Let's get right into it. Chicago, Illinois, home of 051 Young Money, a group of young men that gained their name and reputation by protecting their neighborhood on the south side of the city. 51st and Cottage Grove to be exact. Sources say the young men from Young Money were actually a group of good kids before the beef started, going to school, playing basketball, and just being typical young boys. But from that to be called loose screws, street slang for an individual who really is about their life and not caring about the consequences. Young Money's main enemy consists of O Block, 600, THF, Land Run, and other hoods, but those being the most known. And as they grew from boys to teenagers, from fighting the ops at school to carrying 30s and op shopping, with a few street famous members such as 051 Melly, who was nicknamed Gravedigger from the alleged bodies he had, or 051 Kiddo, who sources say was just as dangerous as Melly, 051 Drilla, 051 Rose, and a lot more. But let's take a journey through the Chicago trenches and get some history on Young Money. The gang is a mix of different organizations, from BDs, GDs, but main gang being MCs or Mickey Cobras. And Young Money is allegedly a renegade squad, meaning they follow no laws and do their own thing. The squad goes by nicknames Fatz Gang or Zeko World, out of respect for their fallen comrades. A young man named Fathead, who unfortunately lost his life at 14 years old and was a beloved 051 member, and also Zeko, he was hit up as well. Some say situations like this force Young Money to get more active, and that's exactly what they did. Young Money had allies in the war, like Suwu TTB, rapper TTB Ned Squad, Jaro City, Brick Squad, aka JoJo World, STL, FBG Ducks Hood, and others. While the BDs was taking off in the music with superstar rappers such as Keith, Dirt, Fredo, and Reese, 051 was taking off in the streets and demanded their respect. Since at the time when drill music was telling the story of Chicago street life, 051 Young Money at first didn't have many rappers. And while their fallen homies were being dissed in songs, they got their revenge in the streets. While they deceased guys like Zeko or Fatz were being rolled by their ops, one 051 member who some allege held the squad on his shoulders, 051 Melly, was seeking revenge on all his ops. A laid-back, slick young dude, sources allege Melly turned the streets to a chess match, studying the ops' moves, stalking their locations and social medias, and remembering any faces that were seen with them. So whenever they was lacking, Melly and his guys would have the ups. 051 Boom started rapping to defend the honor of Young Money. Also 051 Lil Marc, who is also the blood brother of FBG Clout Boys' fallen comrade Tuka. But shortly after Boom would drop a few songs, putting the opposition in their place, he would unfortunately lose his life in the Chicago gang war. At this time, the streets was on fire, and Team 600 had members like L.A. Capone, Rondo No. 9, C-Day, and E-Day dropping songs let it be known they level of hate for 051. I won't repeat the lyrics to certain tracks, but if you know, you know. One Team 600 member seemed to be the priority for 051 Young Money. A young talented L.A. Capone, and while TTB Nez and him was going back and forth dropping tracks dissing each other, two 051 members, Rockhead and Lil Mick, were trying to catch LA. Unfortunately, one day while leaving a recording studio, LA would meet his end and unfortunately lose his life. This would take the beef to a whole nother level. Shortly after the loss of LA Capone, 051 Lil Marc dropped a diss song called No Competition. In the song, he dissed his ops and called out a lot of names of they fallen soldiers. In a video with dread swinging 051 members, even FaceTime and 300 member Lil Reese, the song was a drill hit. As the world seemed to enjoy the gang war for the squads involved, this was real life. Shortly after Lil Marc dropped the song, unfortunately, he would be waiting on the Chicago bus stop and be fatally hit up, losing his life. This was a major blow to 051, but the ops took this opportunity to pour salt in their wounds. THF dropped a diss song called Bus Stop, some say mocking the death of Lil Marc situation. This will lead to a serious chain of events in which several THF and OTF members will fall in the streets, including Lil Durk manager OTF Chino and a young THF member who was a key player's stepson, THF Raheem, THF's Bezu's stepson. As far who is allegedly responsible for the bodies, again, if you know, you know. Around about this time is when the once close two groups, OTF and Mubu, would start beefing, and certain members of Mubu, such as Crump, started hanging with 051 Young Money. The bodies on both sides were dropping left and right, and some of Team 600 top members would go to prison for allegedly seeking revenge on 051 for LA Capone. Mubu Crump was hanging with one of 051's top members, Melly, and the two would become close. Crump being the type to talk about the gang war and diss fallen members from the other side every chance he got, would put a target on his back, especially after hanging with the gravedigger 051 Melly. One night while the two men attended a party, as Melly and Crump went outside, the ops would allegedly pull up, and unfortunately, Mubu Crump would lose his life, and Melly would be grazed in the head, but he survived. Another 051 member would become their #1 rapper, 051 Drilla, dropping a song called 51 Dead Ops, dissing and naming all of the members from the other side that had failed in the Chicago streets. As time went on, it seemed 051 would get a chance in the music industry. And even though not being a rapper, 051 Melly had clout and respect, even from his ops. A viral video with THF Bezu, a top BD, and 051 Melly would show the respect the two alleged hitters from opposite sides had for each other. The two laughed, joked, even talked about jail and street wars. A lot of people were confused and didn't know Melly was actually a BD, but he was renegade. Bezu would joke and say he was tired of Melly and hearing his name and all the alleged work he was penning in the streets. But unfortunately, a few months later, the gravedigger 051 Melly would be gone. Melly attended a party at his once homie's hood, Jarrow City. Sources allege he did so much in the streets, even to some allies, he shouldn't have been at the party. But Melly, being a hitter and young boss and kept a 30, went anyway in true Chirac fashion. During the party, shots were fired, and 051 Melly would lose his life. Outsiders and fans were super confused, thinking Melly was safe at the party with his so-called allies and guys at Jarrow City. 051 Young Money would take probably the biggest hit ever, and the streets would again be on fire. This time not Melly doing the hunting, but his guys hunting for him and whoever hit him up. 051 has seemed to be the underdogs of the Chicago war, but always seemed to hold their own. I respect them for that. Members are still around, even rapper Drilla. So hopefully one day they make it out. After all they have been through, RIP to 051 Melly, Fatz, Zeko, and the rest of they fallen soldiers. Moral of this story, trust none in the streets. And no matter how many bodies or how much of goons your hood and guys are, anybody can get it. Y'all know my saying, succeed not to fail, so you won't be just another hood tale. Love, fam. Be sure to like, comment, share. I'm out.